start taking questions right about now. So, Coach, your first question will be front row to your left.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just looking back on your history, Howard Schnellenberger, your head coach that you had when you were at Louisville, those words of wisdom, those moments of wisdom that you can take with you, do you ever reach back to anything in the toolbox that he gave you?
Well, I was fortunate enough to play for Howard Schnellenberger, and Coach Schnellenberger had a tremendous history and past of only undefeated Super Bowl team in Miami Dolphin history. Took Miami to the national championship, built programs at Louisville, Florida Atlantic. But really, when I played for him, he was known as a quarterback guru, coached a lot of great quarterbacks at Alabama with Barry Bryant, and even at the Miami Dolphins. So the thing that I took from him the most is he was a master motivator. He got his teams to believe that they could beat anybody when they stepped on the field. He did it with him saying, outlandish things to the media, like we're on a collision course for the national championship, the only variable is time. But he wasn't scared to say those things. So because of it, his team believed that they could win. And while I may not be as braggadocious as that, we want our team to take the field and expect to win every time they go out there. So we definitely learned a great deal from him, and he achieved a lot. And even though he's not with us now, I'll never forget all those moments.
Coach, also front row, right side.
Hey, Coach Brohm, how are you doing today? Jalen Wilson, CFB Nation. Of course, you made it to the ACC Championship last year. And I wanted to know what steps in practice and training camp have you and your team taken this offseason to build on last season's success?
Well, I think it's important that you build a team that likes to compete, that loves football, that loves to work hard to win at a high level. So we want to provide that atmosphere and that environment for our guys that they want to come over the building and put the work in and know that if you want to be great, you're going to have to work at it. And I think we got a group of guys that do that every day. While we had some good success last year and we're 10-1 at one point, we lost our last 3 games. So I think because of that, there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of areas to improve, and I think it's caused the hunger to get back in us right away and understand that if you want to be really good, you got to beat big-time opponents, and you got to find a way to win close games. So, these guys we have here with us today, and even our whole entire football team, they've worked hard. They have a great offseason. They understand we have good challenges ahead of us this year, but this is a competitive league with a lot of parity and a lot of really good football players and coaches, and if you don't expect and bring your A game and play your very best, you're not going to win. So we definitely accept that challenge, and we're looking forward to getting the season underway, and our guys have worked really hard to this point.
Coach, from the podium in that response, you used the word great. What does accomplished greatness mean to you?
Well, I think accomplished greatness means setting goals and working extremely hard to achieve those. And I think simply put, you can't put a level to that. You've got to, expect to achieve all your dreams and not scared to take on that challenge. So, being great in this conference means, beating great opponents every week and raising your level of play and stepping up to the challenge. And, we definitely will have those challenges this year.
Coach, back to Dan in the front row to your left.
Coach, bringing in Tyler at quarterback, just what you can say, what you saw from him at Texas Tech, and just why he was the right fit for your offense as you step forward into 2024.
Well, we're excited about Tyler and what he brings to the table. Anytime you can bring in a veteran quarterback that's been there and done that, that's handled adversity, that's had ups and downs, that's been able to experience that's had great success, but also a few failures along the way, and he's battle tested. We're excited about it. To this point, he's come in and he's been a great leader. He's worked really hard. He's put in the work. He's gained the respect of his teammates by working really hard with them and studying football with them and arranging that and making sure that our other players are doing it as well. But he's come here with a purpose. He has 1 year to play college football, and he wants to go out with a bang. And I think that if we can, play well around him and continue to improve our football team, he will definitely play at a high level. So we're excited about what he brings to the table, and we want him to have the best year he possibly can. And it's up to us as coaches to put him in the best position to do that, but we're going to work really hard at it.
Coach, to your right, far right, gentleman in the red shirt.
Michael McCammon, Cardinal Authority on 247 Sports. You talk about Tyler and building around him. You brought in a nice wide receiver in Colin Lacey as well, a guy that can certainly make an impact. What impressed you about him during that recruiting process to think this is a guy that can really help us take another step?
Well, Colin brings a ton of experience to the table. He's played a lot of football as well, but he's strong, he's fast, he's tough. He's made great strides even the little bit we've had him. He works really hard. So without question, getting the ball in his hands, making sure he has touches will be important for our success, keeping him healthy. But he's done a really good job. And he's one of numerous guys that we've added to the mix that have been had very good off seasons that we expect to play well.
Coach, to your left, third row, right in the middle.
Cam Lemons, 24/7 Sports. Coach, you brought in a healthy amount of transfers both last year and this offseason. I know things in college sports are always evolving, but how do you kind of keep that balance with bringing in, a healthy amount of players, whether that can help you right now or in the future from the portal, as well as, keeping the main thing when it comes to high school recruiting?
Coach, from the podium, as a follow-up to that, how do you instill culture almost immediately given the number of transfers in the freshman class every year?
Well, I think instilling culture is providing an atmosphere and an environment where your guys want to work hard at football. They feel comfortable coming over the building, putting in the work, putting in an extra work. They understand the importance of getting that done. We want to make sure our coaches are there for our players at any point in time during the day, whether it's early in the morning, late at night, whenever they want help to get better, we want to be there. And I just think if you want to be a great football team, a great player, you've got to put in the extra work. And, in order to be great, in my opinion, you've got to do more when people aren't watching. And that's important that all of our guys and all of our coaches do that, when you have free time and you have the ability to improve yourself, you got to do it. So I just think we try to do that, and whether you've had a great day of practice or a great game or maybe you struggle a little bit, we want to make sure the next day you can come over and do the same thing and you can get right back at it and work. But we've got a great group of coaches on our staff that are really good people that do things for the right reasons, in my opinion, but they're willing to help our players work hard to achieve success. And our guys, we have a lot of guys on our team that really put a lot of extra time in, and I think if the more guys you have doing that and the more they put into it, the better chance you're going to have to win.
Next question, to your right, third row, all the way at the end.
Tyler Budge, CF Budge. Coach, this offseason I saw a clip of you from the XFL days resurface again. Do I or do I not have a pulse? Let's play football. How often do you see that clip resurface, and has the locker room given you any flack for that one?
Well, years ago, it got on the internet there, and believe it or not, you just can't take it off. So it's always going to be there. That's back when life was really fun, and I enjoyed playing the game. But in the end, it's about, do you really love to play the game? And I think that our players do. I think they know I love competing, and while I can't play anymore, I love coaching and trying to help our team win. But you also want to make the game fun for them. So that was a day when the game was fun, and you could talk a little bit more than you probably should, but you had a little fun with it. But our players have fun too. We want our guys to, they all have different personalities, different makeups, but we want them to play with that personality. And in order to play at a high level of football, you've got to be competitive on the game field. And if that means you got to talk a little bit more so than others, that's fine. If that means you're quiet and you're a competitor that way, that's fine too. But it is a physical, tough, demanding sport that you got to allow your players to take on the persona that they need in order to play at a high level.
Coach, stay there, just over his right shoulder, gentleman in the black shirt.
Matt McGavick, Louisville Cardinals on Sports Illustrated. Jeff, both this offseason and last offseason, you guys placed a really heavy emphasis on the transfer portal. And for this upcoming season, how crucial would you say it is to show people that placing a heavy reliance on the portal as a means to build up your team is something that can be year after year relied upon, and that last year's success wasn't just an outlier?
Well, I don't think we set a number on, hey, we need to bring in this many transfer portal young men and add them to our team. I think every year is just going to be different, and every year is going to be unique, and you can't really predict it now. It's a different time and a different era where rosters are going to change. So if one year a roster didn't change much, I'm fine with that if that works, but sometimes it just doesn't fit. So in order to be prepared. I think you just have to prepare to have answers, so when things come about, you can improve your football team. So, if a lot of guys didn't leave, then we wouldn't bring as many guys in. But if we have guys that graduate and others that want to transfer, you've got to be ready to improve your team. And then you've also got to be ready to just analyze your roster every year. And if you think you need some improvement here and there, you've got to go out and find a way to get it done. And I just think that's what's the best players on your team are going to want. They're going to want you to find the best teammates for them that are going to help them play at a high level and win, and that's all we've tried to do. And I think we've done a pretty decent job at this point, but obviously you got to go prove it every year. But just like everyone at this time of year, we think we've prepared really hard and really well, and we think we'll have a chance.
Coach, thank you for your time. You can switch places with Ashton.
Thank you.
We'll spend about 5 minutes with our defensive linemen. If you've already asked a question, please reintroduce yourselves to our student athletes. And we will come right side, Ashton, third row, gentleman in the blue shirt.
Hey, Ashton. TJ Wilkerson, 90.9 The Light. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, sir.
Doing good, good. Well, my question for you is, we all know how great Louisville's defense was last year. What would you say Mark Hagan and Ron English bring as head coaches for this defense?
I think they're both tacticians. So to me, they broke down the sport in a way that I never looked at before. Ron English obviously has a lot of ways that he attacks different offenses and different looks that we can give them so that we can put ourselves in better positions. They're also really good at analyzing what we have. So they'll take full effect or full advantage of all the players we have and use them to the best that we can use them so we can get more and more wins, more and more stops. So I think that's kind of what they brought. They brought like a higher form of football, like a higher thought process.
Ashton, to your left, first row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. We know that the theme for you is beware the hair. How do you embody that on the field, in practice, and in games?
I just try to play as tenaciously as I can. I try to be around the ball as much as I can, try to harass quarterbacks, just make my presence be known. Obviously, my hair comes out the back of the helmet, so that's kind of where the hair comes from. But I just try to give my best effort every play, try to be around the ball, be disruptive, and do what I can for my teammates.
Ashton, from the podium, you had 3 offers from Florida schools. What was it about Louisville that spoke to you to draw you out of your home state?
Obviously, just the fan base and just being around a lot of good. It's a good business hub. It's a nice city. Just being around a lot of the fans and just hearing the love and support that I got from them just in the recruiting process made me want to take that leap and call Louisville home. So, and I think especially since I've been here, they've continued to love and pour onto this team, and I think it's present more than ever now.
Another question for Ashton from the room. Ashton, we're going to go back to your right-hand side, back to TJ in the blue shirt.
Ashton, your stats are amazing. One thing I did want to ask you is, Heather, anything that you haven't done on defense yet in your time at Louisville that you hope to accomplish this year?
Are you talking about stats?
Yeah, stats-wise, or maybe an accomplishment, a personal accomplishment this coming up year?
I'd like to get a pick if I can, but obviously the team comes first. So just doing my job every time. That's the best I can do. So.
Ashton, from the podium last year, you were ACC All-Academic Team, and you were also named nationally to the CSC Academic All-Americans. How do you balance the two, athletics and academics?
Obviously, football takes a lot of time, so does education, but just finding time to set aside to just study. We're in the building all the time, but whether it's like 2 hours here and there or like a quick little block, like 30 minutes, just finding little bits of time to like do school and just knock it out. Can't diddly-dally, but you just got to keep working, and that's just got to be able to time management.
To your right side, fourth row, gentleman in the red shirt, all the way to the end.
Ashton, you've gotten some accolades last year from your play. You got some preseason accolades. You put up for preseason defensive player of the year in the conference and things like that. How do you put that out of your mind and continue on the projection that you've been on the field lately? Well, obviously I try not to pay too much attention to social media and accolades, especially preseason, because what really matters is the end of the season. What are we doing
that will get us there at the end of the season. It's nice and all, but I've never been too big on awards like that, so I just kind of stay off social media, stay off Twitter. Obviously, people praise people, and people are going to diss you, but just removing yourself from those environments and just finding the time to just focus on what we're doing here and what's inside the building.
Ashton, thank you. If you'd like, we can switch places with Quincy. Quincy Riley will have time at the podium. And Quincy, your first question is going to come to your left, second row.
Hi, Quincy. How are you?
Austin, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm Mary Denchemont from the Players Lounge, and I noticed that you debated declaring for the NFL draft but opted to come back to Louisville. What went into that decision for you?
What really went into the decision for me to come back to college football was my coaches, the fans, and my teammates. And really, where can I see myself being next year if I come back and believing in my staff?
Quincy, we're going to get the microphone to your first row to your left.
Quincy, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. What's it like being on an island against you for a wide receiver?
Kind of scary. Like, you know, when you're going to get the ball, you may not get the ball for the whole game. You just don't know what you're going to get. You just got to know, like, it's going to be hard. That's what I can say.
Question for Quincy from out in the room. Quincy, I'll ask from the podium, and I think I have this correct. In high school, you won the South Carolina 4A 100 and the 200 meters. You earned all-state and all-region in track. You were named the team's MVP. You were named to the South Carolina Boys 4A Track Player of the Year in 2019. All that said, with all that running, why did you not aspire to be a running back in football?
Really don't want to get hit for real. Like, I was small. Was 300 pounds, 250 plus. Like, I couldn't take that. But running was just fun to me for real. So and I just switched over to DB. I thought it was even funner, learning a new technique, really a hard position to learn. Like, I felt like it was a challenge for me.
New track event, getting hit midway through the 100, right? To your right, back to TJ in the blue shirt.
How you doing, Quincy?
Outstanding. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for asking. My question is going to bounce off from the podium. So how do you feel track and field helped you for your position as well as other football players who do track in order to prepare for the coming up football season?
First, I mean, track keeps you in shape. That's one. But also help you learn the real running form. Like, most time when I'm playing football, you hardly ever see me screen and show my real speed because I got so much. I feel like I have a good running form where I can just really, like, it's like a job, but know how to run, how to keep up, and play out a different type of speed than a normal player that didn't run track and know how to run. When you see him probably screening when he don't have to, just because he don't know the running form for real.
Quincy, to your left, about the fourth row in the middle.
Cam Lemons, 24/7 Sports. Quincy, a little bit earlier, you mentioned the coaches as a reason why you came back to Louisville. You were one of the more higher profile guys that ended up coming back and not declaring for the draft. You know, there's coaches, they're NIL. Is college football kind of in a place right now where kind of guys in your situation feel a little more comfortable, coming back and not necessarily feeling like they have to make the jump right away to the NFL?
As in the NIL aspect?
NIL, coaches, just kind of what the resources you guys have right now in general.
100% depending on what university you go to. Like I said, like, it's never about the NIL, more so about what the coaches and what I can gain from coming back from those coaches. So that, like I said, that was really one of the main aspects was just the coaches, like, and playing under Jeff Brohm, Ron English, and Steve Ellis. I feel like I can gain the most I ever did playing college football, then jumping right into the next level and being like under coach.
Anything else for Quincy from the room? Quincy, thank you. We can switch places with Tyler.
Thank you.
And we will finish out our time with the Cardinals with our quarterback. And we will look for hands in the room to spend time with Tyler. We'll get our first one, Tyler, to your left front row, and then we will go right side right after that.
Tyler, for you, as Coach said, you have one more season, and obviously you want to end on a high note as you step forward. Why Louisville? Why was that the fit that made sense after Texas Tech?
I think for me it was being able to play under Coach Jeff Brohm and Brian Brohm and kind of their pedigree with quarterbacks in the past and being able to put them in the league and keep them in the league and their offensive system, being it more complex, putting a lot on my plate, run a lot of different formations, personnel groups. I think that was really attractive to me to come in there and be a part of a really good team and contribute to that with a high standard. So that was no doubt without my mind, this was the place to be.
Tyler, to your right, third row, blue shirt.
How you doing, Tyler? TJ Wilkerson from 90.9 The Light. Hope you're having a good morning, man.
Yes, sir. You too, TJ, man.
Well, thank you. My question is, from Oregon to Texas Tech and now to Louisville, what has been the differences of culture between those three schools, and how does Louisville succeed those other two schools?
I think for Louisville, especially the whole city, I think there's just a lot of avenues that you can grow. The community is so vast. There's a lot of really good people. I think Lubbock and Eugene, smaller college towns, have its own benefits, but for here, just the networking opportunities, the coaching staff, they're all from here. They have a lot of pride in this place. Just kind of what they bring to the table. I think there's a lot of pride in the whole city, and you want to go out there and play well for them and do everything that you can. So far it's been great. We've loved living here. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of good food spots, a lot of places to go out and spend time with your teammates. So I have no complaints so far.
Tyler, to your left, far left. Sir, if you'll raise your hand so we could see you. Thank you.
Hey, Tyler, Ralph Amsden, Sports 360 AZ.
Yeah, what's up, Ralph? How we doing, man?
It's good to see you. Can we talk about Jack Plummer?
Yeah, let's do it.
You grow up playing 10 miles from each other. A lot of the coaches that fly out to see you are flying out to see him as well. You both spend a little bit of time in the Pac-12, you both spend a little bit of time in the middle of the country, and now you're following him at Louisville. Is this a coincidence? You've had an opportunity to develop a relationship with him over the years?
Oh, yeah, we've developed a relationship over the years just through, quarterback play, obviously being from Arizona and then transferring as well. He was a big part in that process for me coming here, just knowing about the team, knowing about the coaches, him and Jawar. It's kind of a full circle moment, being able to come here and trying to recruit Jawar back and then being able to come play for the same team that they were on and with a lot of the same guys. But he did such a great job last year, putting them in positions to be successful, and obviously they wanted to finish the year stronger. But just watching him on tape and what they were able to do, it's helped me kind of develop in this offense and see how we can grow and continue to get better. And obviously wish him nothing but the best going forward in his NFL career. And I know he's going to do really well because of the coaching that he's had and who he is.
Tyler, we're going to stay on the left for your next two questions. Fourth row, middle.
Perfect, right over here.
Gotcha.
Hey, Cam Levins, 24/7 Sports. Tyler, you've had some injury issues in the past. I'm sure that's just been extremely frustrating. What do you learn about just yourself as a player when you're out for consistent from time to time? What do you learn about just the team in general when you have to kind of sit back and put a different hat on?
Yeah, I think it develops your character and really what you're playing the game for. For me, I wouldn't change anything because it's put a chip on my shoulder and want to go out there and prove myself right of what I can do. And it's part of the game. I don't think anybody's immune to a season-ending injury. It's how do you respond from that? A quarterback or any player that's had full success throughout their whole career, how long does that last, and what are you going to do when something bad happens, and how do you bounce back from that and prove to NFL GMs and your coaches that you're the main guy, you're going to be in there every single day no matter what's happening, how you're going to lead the team and go forward from there. So I've kind of taken that as a growing opportunity, and just this is a blessing in disguise to be able to come here for my last year and put it all out in the field together. So I can't be more excited to go out there and silence that and also prove myself right just because I know what I can do and I know what this team can do, because with the amount of talent and coaching and players that we have, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Staying on your left, third row, blue jacket, second row, blue jacket.
I'm Katrina Sacken for Sports and Culture Media. Tyler, how are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here.
From multiple different schools to now ending the journey in Louisville, what do you want to see from yourself and to deem this a successful last season?
I think for me, team success brings individual success. I think if we can go out there and win an ACC championship and get in the playoff and hopefully win a national championship, and like Coach Brohm was saying, have those high standards of goals and work hard every single day, I think that's going to hopefully bring some individual success as well. I think for me, staying healthy and being able to be there for my teammates every single day has been a goal of mine. I think everything else is going to take care of itself, and it's all going to work out the way it's supposed to.
Tyler, your last question to the right, back to the gentleman in the blue shirt, third row.
So, Tyler, I understand that you grew up with Cody Bellinger and his brother. You were best friends with his brother?
Yes, yeah, we grew up playing baseball together.
Do you ever stay in contact with Cody?
Not as much. You know, he's obviously doing his own thing here on Instagram and there, but yeah, he's got his own family and he's killing it so far. But yeah, there's some times where you know, I wish I would still be playing baseball, trying to play multiple sports. But yeah, I mean, they're obviously killing it and do everything they can.
Tyler, we lied from the podium. Your last question now coming from the gentleman to your right in the red shirt.
Michael McCammon, Cardinal Authority on 247 Sports. Tyler, we've talked about your relationship with Jeff Brohm and his experience working with quarterbacks. What's it like learning from his younger brother and quarterback coach, Brian Brohm?
I mean, it's been awesome. You know, I think they've been some of my favorite coaches I've ever had just because they played the position. You know, they've been behind the face mask. And, you know, when we're watching film, it's not like, oh, you should have done this better. This is maybe the look. It's what I would have thrown this, or I see this coverage as this. So they offer a unique perspective to where, you know, they've played it and they've done it at a high level in college and the NFL. And they can offer insight to, you know, maybe this could be a better way to do it. You know, this drop might be better with this concept, but maybe you like this better. So they offer just a lot of really good tidbits. And for me, just being able to continue to learn from them and grow is why I wanted to come here and why I want to continue to get better under them.
Tyler, thank you. Louisville, good luck this season.
Thank you.
Folks, remember at 5 o'clock today, Donald